Hey everyone, off the Mike Sports Network here. Official Super Bowl 59 prediction video here for y'all. I've been waiting to talk about this game for a while. Also, just not a lot there because we've seen these two teams. It's the second time in 3 seasons that we've seen these two teams in the Super Bowl. They're going to wear the exact same uniforms that they were wearing 2 years ago. The only difference is it's the location. We were in Arizona 2 years ago. We're in New Orleans this year. So we were on Mountain Time. Now we're on Central Time. So few differences here. Obviously, Saquon Barkley, the big difference on the Eagles side. So yeah, this is going to be a fun game. The Chiefs favored by 1.5 in this game. Listen, as talented as I think the Philadelphia Eagles are, I still have the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl and going for a three-peat. And if that bothers you, I'm really not sorry, because if you can't see the greatness that is going on in front of you right now with the Kansas City Chiefs, they've got the best coach in football. They've got the best quarterback, even though he had a down season. They've got the best tight end in football. They've got maybe the best defensive tackle in football. They got the best coordinator in football, as Steve Spagnuolo. This team, and the reason why I say that this is a remarkable run that they've done in the last, like, this would be, I think, 4 and 6 seasons for this Kansas City Chiefs team. The only two times that they lost on this run were they lost to Cincinnati in the championship game years ago. Actually, there's 3 times on this run, but in terms of, like, this run that they've had, they lost obviously in the Super Bowl, the COVID Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, and then that championship game against Cincinnati where they lost in overtime. Let's get real. They got blown out once in the playoffs. Once in the playoffs while Patrick Mahomes is there. And then they've lost 2 overtime games. That's how good this Chiefs team has been. And the game that these guys played with the Eagles 2 years ago was a lot more high scoring. I think this will be a much more defensive game. I think the points will be few and far between. I think Saquon Barkley will have an okay game, but I think the primary thing here for Kansas City is they got to make Jalen Hurts beat them. And Jalen Hurts was a big reason why the Eagles had a chance to win that game 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. He had one big fumble, which really tilted the game, but he was outstanding in that game. But it'll be interesting to see how the Chiefs, stop Saquon Barkley. In regards to the Eagles, this is going to be about protection with the Chiefs and how they're able to maintain Jalen Carter. And, it seems like Brandon Graham, I think, is going to come off IR for this game. So going to be very interesting to see how Vic Fangio is able to, because, Jonathan Gannon was a defensive coordinator, 2 different coordinators for the Eagles as well. And Kellen Moore might be headed not very far after this game ends to be the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. So it's kind of fitting that he's in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, and that's probably where he's going to be coaching unless something crazy happens. But in the end, what this comes down to for me, and I've given Nick Sirianni his props, it's just this is a coaching mismatch. This is a coaching mismatch of the highest order. Andy Reid is a much better coach than Nick Sirianni. And yes, Pat, who do I trust to be more clutch in a big time game like this? Of course, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he hasn't been great this year, but I'm not trusting Jalen Hurts in that spot. The key to this game for Philadelphia to win is they've got to limit defensively, like the time of possession, because the Chiefs, whereas where they were a few years ago, they were about high volume and big plays. Now they're about just minimizing possessions, taking care of the ball, intermediate, short throws, and not trying to blow the top off the defense. So the big thing for them is they've got to, stop the Chiefs. That's given. Like, you're supposed to stop them defensively. But the other thing is Kansas City, they've got to stop Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley cannot be the reason that the Eagles win this. You have to, turn Jalen Hurts into a passer, and, limit his ability to affect you via the run. And also, the run game is going to be the key to this game. And I just have a lot of faith in Steve Spagnuolo and the way that they've been able to, they've been able to stop a bunch of different varieties of quarterbacks and a bunch of different styles of running backs over the course of the last season. And this is arguably the best defense the Chiefs have ever had, because they've needed that defense, because their offense unlike previous years, has just not been able to produce at the level that it has during the regular season. They were able to win a bunch of these games inside the 20s or below the 20s. So, but I ride and die with Chiefs Kingdom. Everybody's going to be annoyed by it if they win. There'll probably be some weird call that everybody's going to call conspiracy on. Grow up. That's not the reason why they're going to win. The Chiefs are just that damn good. They just have. There's just too many best uh, in that category that I have to side with the Chiefs. Defense, kind of a push between. You would probably side with the Eagles there, but quarterback, Chiefs win that one. Head coach, Chiefs win that one. It's just like you go further down the line. It's just like big game experience. I go Chiefs. Like it's just there's so many different variables in this game that a lot of people I think are going to go with Philadelphia because of their roster. But again, it comes down to in these big spots, who's the better coach, who's the better quarterback, and check one, check two, go to Kansas City. That's why I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, make history, three-peat. I think Patrick Mahomes will have another great game. He will win Super Bowl MVP. That being said, dark horse, I would not be surprised if Travis Kelce has a great game, wins the MVP, retires, and then maybe, hey, if this is probably a prop somewhere, maybe he proposes to Taylor Swift. And that would create a viral moment that will break the damn internet. So, a lot of stuff to look out for here on the channel, but a lot to chew on there in the Super Bowl. I'm excited to see what happens. This should be a great game. If you're saying you're not going to watch it because of the two teams, you're full of shit. What the hell else better do you have to do on Sunday? Anyway, I'll see you guys soon.